Welcome back to Chat Game, y'all. I'm here with your boy, Alvin Williams.
I'm here with your boy, Terrance A. Smith.
We're here to discuss some topics in NBA basketball this week. Hey, yo, man, let's talk about the Emirates Cup, man. You see what's going on with that thing? I want to pass it to you before I share my thoughts and hear your opinion about the Cup before we get into the teams. But what's your opinion about the Cup itself?
I mean, I like it, man. I really enjoy the competition part. Unfortunately, I think for the masses, they only get to see the competition part near the end and not throughout the entire tournament. So it's like, all right, how do you bring that awareness? How do you bring that same type of energy throughout the entire Emirates Cup tournament and not just when it's in Vegas with the final four teams? But I think the NBA, man, they got the mind, the brain power behind it. I think they got a great model in the European model, how they execute the European Cups and all of those things like that internationally. I think sooner or later it's all going to come together. They're going to figure it out. But I enjoy it, especially this time, the final two teams coming up.
It took a while to grow on me. The floors was confusing. I didn't understand the floors in the beginning. And as a fan, it was like throwing me off and ruining the game for me a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it done something to me. But this is third year right now.
Yep.
Yeah, so this year it seems like the guys are competing a lot harder. So I'm excited that we got this championship in the middle of the season. Me and you talked about if we could potentially have it in the beginning of the season. I'm glad I understand why it's in play now, and I think they need to add a little more money than that. That $500,000 or whatever that chump change to the NBA, that's not enough for them players. They throw that away. So I think they need to ante that money up a little bit more. And to what you're saying, maybe it will draw more attention if they put a little more money out there for the players and a little bit more money into the product. So now that the championship is here, New York Knicks played Orlando Magics the other night. Was you able to watch that game, and what was your opinion on that, man? Talk to me.
I did, man. That was a battle of two tough teams. Both teams just played each other a week ago, previously at the Garden. Unfortunately, Franz Wagner got hurt. Carroll came back, and you got Jalen, Suggs, and those guys. Orlando balling, man. I love the Coach Mosley. I love what they got over there, but the Knicks, man, they just too tough. And I love the fact that Jalen, we know what he did. He had 40. But also, big time, Cat had 29. OG had 24. Josh Hart, he did his thing running around. I like the fact that Mitchell Robinson, he had 9 rebounds in 17 minutes. That's 4. He had 4 offensive rebounds. So they dynamics and their team identity still stayed in place even when Jalen's scoring. So I love the fact how they coming back to playing that Knicks-style basketball. Mikal Bridges also chipped in. But early on, people were really talking about how Jalen needs to get off the ball a little bit, and he has gotten off the ball a little bit. But when he has the ball in his hand, he manages the game, man, scoring points, and everybody else still getting theirs. That's Knicks-style basketball that we've seen in the past couple of years. Orlando put up a good fight, but the Knicks was just a little too much.
Well, in the beginning of the season, man, you talked about it. I asked you, what could Jalen do to get better, right? I remember asking you that, because he's a baller, and becoming a better version of what he is already seemed to be tough. But to him, he's gave me a little bit more points and a little bit more assists, so he has gotten better. How impossible that must have been for me to see him getting better than that. But I like him, and what happened last night, I thought, because I think highly of Orlando guards. Not just offensively, defensively. I think highly of their guards. And I thought if Jalen put his thing down on Orlando, I want to jump out there and say he might be the best guard in the East. And I think he's showing it by his work. He's showing it with his wins. Not only with the win, the way of winning is going through him. You know what I mean? Like, he's coming down, getting in the paint, throwing the floater, shoot. He making sure they get 2 points. So I respect this game. I'm happy he's doing this thing. Orlando looked good. I'm a fan of them. They're a bit young and scrambled. They're not put together as well as the Knicks. I know you love those Nova guys up there. So I'm a big fan of Orlando. I like what they got, what they doing down there. I wasn't mad that they lost. The kids, Suggs, had 25 at halftime. He was going tick for tat with Jalen. He got hurt. You know what I mean? But he was putting this thing down, so I wasn't mad at that game at all. I actually enjoyed it. What did you think of the Spurs against OKC? My Cash brothers, man. You know what I mean? Talk to me about my Cash brothers, Al.
Your Cash brothers just ran into a monster. I was thoroughly impressed, man. I like that whole makeup of the San Antonio Spurs. That was a hell of a game. Was it 24 straight or 24-1? The OKC Thunder was, and it just for the Spurs to come with that win, and it's just amazing the fact that the Spurs started out 0 for 12 from three. They was down double figures, and then guess who comes in the game? I know we're gonna talk about him later, but for the Spurs to win that game, I'm thoroughly impressed with their makeup. I love their guards. They might got the best 4 or 5 guards in the NBA going across the board. You got OKC and their guards as well, but these guys over there with the Spurs, man, you got Castle, you got Fox, you got Vassell, you got Glendon Johnson, Keldon Johnson, and the kid Dylan Harper.
Dylan Harper, yeah.
He is unbelievable. So they got great guards, man, and just shout out to their coach, man. Mitch, I think it's Mitch Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
He's a young coach, the third youngest coach in the NBA, head coach. So shout out to that team, man. They really put it together. I like what the Spurs are doing, man. They could be your next OKC team.
What I wanted to say was like how we talk about OKC puts a team together from the chef to the doorman to the waitress, how they got every position filled. The Spurs got everything filled too, right? But I want to say that Thunder got out coached last night because they're in a cruise control mode. They cruise on Shea back, which is the way to go. You win with that, right? But this seemed like there was very limited set plays where the Spurs seem to get a set play almost every time down. Thunder, they freestyle on Shea, which is fine. It's a winning recipe. They're 24-1, but it seemed like that came to haunt them. And you know what? A team of that stature need to lose every now and then. They need something to wake them up, to get them excited, to get them back, to see where they lose it at. You know what they doing wrong. If you win 23 games in a row, you walking around like nothing stink, and you need sometimes to just readjust your teammates, let y'all know you can be beat if you don't. You know what I mean? So I didn't take a loss for either team. I mean, clearly the Spurs going to the championship, but I think the Thunder is looking for the world championship, and this was a good lesson to warn them. Don't play around Don't play around with no games. You know what I mean? Like these games ain't to be played with. So I think it was a good lesson for the OKC last night.
No, it's a good joint because again, like you said, the Spurs. I mean, OKC is going to figure it out. You know, the Spurs, they generate a lot of their offense through turnovers. They get 25 points a game off of turnovers. And if you're not turning the rock over, that's a good portion of their offense. But then also what Spurs did a really good job. Now under like 3 minutes of the game, they start doubling team and getting the ball out of Shea's hand. So Shea had to really go hard. And then guess who else is in that game due to time management near the end is Wemby. So he covers it up. And I know we're going to talk about him, but he covers a lot of things up defensively, and they just competed. Those guys competed. So when you look at OKC and their offensive sets, how they go about it, it goes through SGA. And now the Spurs, they didn't do what other teams do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let him go. You know that man, what he has over 97. That last night was 97 straight games over 20 points. So he always getting his, but they tried to restrict them a little bit by double teaming and switching up the defense. So shout out to the Spurs more so than being negative with the OKC Thunder because the Spurs team they really showed improve and they had a game plan.
They did. They definitely did. And so let's get over into this next subject, the Wemby effect, right? Because where I'm sitting at, Al, and I'm a fan of the game, and I've been watching for years. I happen to get close seats and get access to big games through to you, big playoff games. I've been around some NBA thanks to my cousin, right? I've never seen somebody play cornerback in the league like Wemby does. It seems like long as he close to the rim, he's on defense. He got the most, you know, like he's just all over the floor in defense. If he doesn't block the shot, he alter it. If he don't touch the pass, he alters it. He just does so many things. And what's even crazy about him is that I'm blown away. I'm watching his defense effect. And he come down in like crunch time and cross over and shoot a three and fade away baseline jump shot and another turnaround jump shot. I was just like, how can he be this guy? How can they create somebody that can, he reminds me of Kareem on the other end, but he's be better on the other, he's bigger. And then on the other end, It's just, I'm shocked with the Wemby effect. You know what I mean? What's your opinion? What's your opinion on the Wemby effect, Al?
So I was watching the game, so I'm not going to even cheat. I wrote some notes down.
Mm-hmm.
So to start the game, he didn't start yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as he gets in the game, they go on a 9-2 run. As soon as he gets in the game, 9-2 run. That was in 3 minutes. They get right back in the game. They're down double figures. They get right back in the game. He's on a minutes restriction, so he played 3 minutes a clip. Then when they took him out, OKC went on a 14-2 run when he came out the game. Then he comes back in the game. They go, at the end of the half, they go on a 13-0 run when he's back in the game. He was a plus 20, and I'm not all that plus-minus guy, but he was a plus 20 at halftime, but he only played 7 minutes, dog. So anytime he was on the floor, and then that second half, and again, the coaching, again, they did an excellent job by distributing the minutes in a way where they could use him when it's game time. Do you remember a couple years ago when Joel Embiid was on that minutes restriction, and then it would come there the end of the game, and they would have to take him out, and he would be pissed off, like, because they didn't manage the minutes the proper way to cut it up. Mm-hmm. But they did a good job of having that. But to your point, defensively, everybody see offensive what that man does, which is phenomenal as well. But defensively, to your point, he makes everybody think and look for him where he is, no matter if he's on a weak side. You're not trying to go in there and beat your man to penetrate and meet him at the rim. He's weak side. He's in a help side. He can still go and defend the three-point shot. He does a good job of guarding on the ball. Nobody's really trying to take it to him. So he got a big-time effect, to your point, the Wemby effect. I'm looking for the Spurs to make a deep run. If he can stay healthy, I'm looking for the Spurs to make a deep run. You might be seeing OKC and the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals this year.
That wouldn't be bad. And not to knock coach for OKC, right? Because who knows what to do with that 7'6" alien? Like, nobody know what to do. So I didn't want to say like the Spurs coach out coached him, which I thought he did.
I think he did too.
Yeah, but
I agree with you.
To the OKC coach defense, you tell me what to do. You know what I mean? You tell me what to do with him. Then you so smart. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I'm looking at my coaching staff like, anybody got some answers?
Why don't y'all tell me what to do with him then?
Yeah.
So, all right, Al. So early in our sports show, we did a segment where we watch rookies. And right now we feel like it's the time to mention some of the guys we think are playing up to potential and showing out in the NBA, which is really tough as a rookie. That game, that league is no joke. Any rookies that you feel like you want to put some shout out on, Al?
I'm going to give a shout out to Ryan Nembhard. Ryan Nembhard, his brother plays for the Pacers. He nice too, right?
Cold.
He dope. But his younger brother from out of Gonzaga, Canadian. You know, the Canadians up there putting the thing down. But Dallas Mavericks, man, they put him in the starting lineup looking for a point guard. You remember they were looking for a point guard. Early had Cooper Flag there, but now they got the young fella, and he's averaging about 15 and 7 over the last 7 games, over the last 6 games. So he's finding his niche as a rookie, undrafted. So the Dallas Mavericks may have found a little gem there, but that's one that we haven't really talked about. But I know you like a few others. Who you got?
I like CJ Fairs down in New Orleans, what he's doing. Yeah. Derek Queen, New Orleans, he had a triple-double this week. Cooper Flag, you know what? He's got a tough assignment. And because I know basketball, I'm going to applaud him because he has a tough assignment. You know what I mean? Like what they asking him to do is a tough assignment. So he's doing well as a rookie. Is he my rookie of the year? I don't know yet. Edgecombe, he shoots the ball better than what I thought, Al. I thought he was a driver/dunker type of guy, but he's made some jump shots. He impressed me a lot. And you know who I'm on since I wanted to know why he was drafted number 4, Con Knipple. I'm finding out why he drafted number 4. He had 39 or 35 this week.
Yeah. 33. I wanted 35.
He had 29 last night.
Something.
So
he can play.
He showed me why he's number 4. So Con Knipple, big my eye, but the check game is watching out for you, man. So and the rookie watch.
I got a question for you though, Fats.
Who that?
Why Cooper Flag job so hard?
I think because he came into a system. He came into a organization that was looking to win, right? Mm-hmm. And they put him at a point guard spot. I think he's best fit at a 3, maybe 2, but I don't think he's. Who you tell me? You're a point guard in the NBA. That's a tough job. That's not comfortable every night to have to handle the ball that much during the game, get your teammates involved, and find you a couple points. That's a tough job, Al.
Yeah.
For a rookie. You know what I mean? He did 1 year in college. He's not like an experienced. He's still a kid. And they want him to handle the ball against grown men in the NBA, which is tough. And when he off the ball, needs you to defend and get a couple buckets. I think his job is tough. And we're not viewing it as that situation where he's not performing like he's not that far ahead of the pack as a rookie of the year is what I'm saying. He seems to be right in there with them. It's not like a big jump. But if you look at what he's asked to do, then you can kind of take into consideration, damn, maybe he is rookie of the year because they is asking a lot of him as a rookie, as a 19-year-old rookie coming out of 1 year in college.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's in a tough situation and a situation where they came into this season with expectations. And AD's been hurt, Kyrie's been hurt, so he has a lot of responsibility. But you look at somebody that we haven't mentioned, like an Ace Bailey, who goes into a losing situation, and you don't have so many vets around to help you through the process. So, you know what I mean? It's critical, man, for when young players, they got to go to the right organizations to get the most out of them, especially as a young player. So to your point, Cooper Flagg, it's a lot of expectations on him. But also, man, I'll take my hat off to him because he's only 18. He's turning 19 December 21st this month. So he's somebody that I read that I think only he, Kobe, and LeBron James, the youngest players to score over or have games over 15 points in a row, whatever the case may be. It's a stat out there. So he's in good company. But to your point, it is a lot of responsibility on him. He was met with a lot of responsibility for his position, but he's doing a good job.
Yeah, if he was in a different situation, he would flourish a lot more, is what I think. I could see the kid got game. There's no joke.
Yeah,
The boy got serious game.
He's averaging 18.
Yeah, he got
ain't nothing to sniff at.
Yeah, he got serious game. It's just he's not in a situation where he can put up 23 shots. You know what I mean? 25 shots and do his own thing and not be so worried about the teammates. So those are the rookies we watching. We keeping an eye out. I'm definitely got an eye out for Kyle Knipple, man.
Game time.
I'm impressed with this guy already. Game time, segment where we talk about trending topics. Today, we talking about the guys with the most points with no championships. And just to give our viewers some of the names on this list, I got at least the top 9. We got Reggie Miller, we got Alex English, DeMar DeRozan, Vince Carter, Russell Westbrook, Dominique Wilkins, Carmelo Anthony, James Harden, and the mailman, Karl Malone. What you got, Al? Talk to me, man. Cause I ain't gonna say they bums, but ain't none of them got no chip, man. What you got to say about this?
Well, I hope you don't say they bums, man. I know you and your championships, and if they ain't win, they got to do this. It goes to show. First of all, it goes to show just scoring points ain't gonna win you a chip, and you got to have supporting cast. And you take your Karl Malone, he ran it against Jordan, so. It's different things. You talk about a Reggie Miller. He ran against Kobe and Shaq. Vince Carter, I was with him for a lot of his career, and we just wasn't good enough as a team. And it just happens like that. Carmelo, they all phenomenal players. But for anybody out there that just think putting the ball in the hoop is going to win games and put you where you need to be from a historical standpoint and winning standpoint, it's not always the case. And even my man Dominique Wilkins, he was running to Boston. It was tough. It's tough, but again, points is just not going to do it. You need the rebounds, you need the assists, you need the defensive people, you need a whole party. And you always talk about it. Everybody matters. Everybody got value from the top to the bottom. They put a team together and an organization together for winning purposes. And just again, scoring is not going to do it.
Well, this group, if I look at the group, they all are selfish players. None of these guys are pass. None of these guys are pass first. I mean, I'll give Westbrook, he get triple doubles, but he is a selfish player, right? Dominique, selfish. Carmelo, selfish. Harden, selfish. What I see in all these guys is a pattern of what Jordan did to lead up to Kobe, and then all these other guys tried it. Like, give me the ball, I got this. Nah, you ain't that type. That's for Jordan, and then Kobe mimicked it, and Kobe won with that. But in all these guys right here, it seems like all of these guys try to be the Jordan or the Kobe deal. And in today's NBA, you can see that that's not the style no more. It's not just give me the ball, watch out. All of y'all got to be nice. And not to knock any of them, because Harden could ball. You left hand, that's my guy.
Well, you just did knock him. You called him selfish, dog.
I'm just saying, Karl Malone, come on, he don't pass the ball. I mean, these guys shoot the ball. I'm just saying, they ball hog. All of these guys hog the ball. I'm just Carmelo, Dominique. I mean, look at it's not in a bad way. It's not. It's not. No.
Well, give me a good way. You want to just say they scores? Just say they scores.
Because that's the style of play. That's Michael Jordan, Kobe, everybody trying to follow that pattern. It changed. You know what I mean? It changed. It's not no one-man show going to the championship like that. And so Harden, what does he do? He's like a Kobe. DeRozan, he tried to be like Jordan. I mean, they try to score points. They are not a team first guy. I don't see him like that. I'm not knocking it, but that's what they're here to do. Score. They score. But that style of play not going to get them no championship.
Well, championships is hard. But I will say I'm not going, because my man Vince Carter's on that list. And I know he wasn't a selfish player, but I get what you're saying. Scores. But the thing about those other guys, defensively, they locked in, and they had great supporting cast. I'm not saying these other guys didn't have great supporting cast, because Reggie Miller, by all means, had a great supporting cast, but he ran into a Lakers team. Same with Karl Malone, ran into his Chicago team. Vince Carter, he ran into some other teams that was just better. Carmelo Anthony teams wasn't as good. He was running into the Lakers when he was over in the West, in Denver. DeMar DeRozan, he was the same. Like, so these guys were scorers, but again, our teams built around their best ability. So I think at the end of the day, it goes to show, once again, scoring is not just going to do it. You could put the ball in the hoop, and all these dudes could put the ball in the hoop. Like, they just didn't win no championship. And that's the other thing, too. Just because you don't have a chip don't mean that your career has suffered. I don't believe in that, because it's a team aspect. So I think you ask any of these guys who would actually give up their scoring ability as their Hall of Fame status to win a chip, I don't know if anybody would. I think individually they're happy with their career as it is.
I just don't see these guys.
You was a gunner.
I mean, at a time in my life, I had to play some winning basketball, but these guys, it seems like they all the same guy. And let's be honest. Al. I know DeMar is on here. That's your guy. Vince is your guy. But these guys had chances to win. James Harden had a chance to win. Reggie Miller, they had a chance to win. And man, you talk about what separates great from good. Like, and when it's time to win, Kobe Bryant win. James Harden couldn't win when it was time to win. But you got to do it when it matter. So I don't have no sympathy for it, because if these guys was in a position to win, and if you're that good, we seen Carmelo in the playoffs. He don't get it done. I'm not hating. Can they play? Yes. But has I seen them let me down in the playoffs? I've seen quite a few of them. Westbrook, DeMar DeRozan, he didn't come through a couple times in the playoffs. So those guys had chances to win. And if they scores like that, do it when it counts. That's all I'm saying. But these guys don't have a championship, and I can see why, because they had opportunities. Reggie Miller had an opportunity. They didn't get it done. Kobe Bryant get it done. You know what I mean? I don't want to get this with you. You just
tripping, man. You know I wouldn't trip.
I really like this segment that we got right here, where we talk about who tripping this week. And you got some information to share for our audience. Who tripped out here this week on us, Al?
Starting to be a regular in this category. Jalen Johnson from Atlanta Hawks. He had. Let me look. I want to do my youngin' right. I want to do him right. He had, against the Sixers, he had 12 points, 10 assists, 12 assists, and 10 rebounds. Then against the Detroit Pistons, where they took a loss, he had 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 assists, all in this week. He had Luka versus the Sixers. He had 35. Oh, no. My vision is bad. 31, 15, and 11 assists. And then we got the young fella, Derek Queen. He had a big 33 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists versus the Spurs. We just got finished talking about how good the Spurs defense and everything is. But those are the guys. But I'm going to ask you a question, man. You know who been tripping the most this season? The Joker. Got 11 of them.
Joker.
Jalen Johnson been tripping a little less than him. He got 6. Josh Giddey got 5 this year. Russell Westbrook got 4. The old man, 4 of them. Russell Westbrook and James Harden and a gang of others following up with two triple doubles this season so far.
Well, we love that feed, man. We love we love when the guys start tripping around here. So I'm glad we keep this segment rolling. Let's get to the next segment, Al.
Yep. Hey, Fats, this day in sports, December 15th, I know what I got for you. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, at that time, he was known as Lou Alcindor. His freshman year debut, and back then, as a freshman, you couldn't play varsity. So his varsity debut, he had 56 points. First time ever playing varsity. So that's one of the starts of his dominant career. But his first varsity game, stepped in and had 56.
Damn.
Yeah, that's special.
He bad boy. So
Yeah.
hey, yo, Al, this is our check mail segment here at Check Game. Y'all know we check our mail, man. So somebody hit us up from Harlem. His name's Harlem's own BK Birthchild. He hit me up and said that Giannis purchased some property out in New York. And do I think that the Bucks are going to trade him to the Knicks? Before I get my 2 cents, I want you to take it from here and let us know what you feel for the player side and the business side of it, Al. You know how me and you talk.
I don't think they are. I don't know why you would. I don't know why you would trade Giannis. Now, if he goes in there and demands a trade, I'm always going to look for the best interest of the organization as an exec of the team. My job is to make sure the team moves forward, whether it's immediately or it's a long-term plan. I get the idea that Giannis gave blood, sweat, and tears there, but it was a business agreement. And if the New York Knicks or the Brooklyn Nets, they can't give me what I need to go forward and to get it approved by the board, if that's the process of making these type of decisions, I'm not going to just trade him anywhere, because you look at the Knicks and where people are saying he wants to go. I'm not sure if the Knicks are willing to give up everything to get him. And what would you have to give up? And they don't have any draft capital, because they gave the draft capital up in the transaction getting Mikal Bridges from the Brooklyn Nets. So it's a lot there that they would have to give up right now. And I don't know if that makes a big difference moving forward. So I'll just have to evaluate it from an exec standpoint. And if I'm Giannis, whatever I need to do, whatever's going to be best for my career, I'm going to make that decision as well.
Well, I always ask you this, and this is something we're going to share with our audience, but when do the organization look out for the player? I mean, we see plenty of times where the player looks out for the organization, takes a buyout, takes a trade, takes a cut on his pay. When is the organization going to say, hey, Giannis, thank you for the championship. Thank you for all your services. And how can we accommodate you for once? It's always the player accommodating the organization. When are the organization? And you said to me, well, fast, they paid him $250. Well, if somebody paid him $250, how much he made? Like that $250 you gave Giannis. Giannis brought you some money back on that. Giannis doubled that. He took you to the championship. I'm just saying, in fairness, when you talk about business, because that's a business relationship, the player and the owner, the team. Giannis came, he gave all he had. This team is not prepared to put Giannis in a position to win the championship right now. Giannis needs to win right now. When does the organization look at the player and say, thank you for all you've done? You've been a stand-up citizen. You've been a stand-up teammate. You've done great for the organization. How can we accommodate you? That sounds crazy coming out my mouth to you, but this is where I think sports need to be. It's all about organization, me. And if the player get any power, somehow they make the media trade against the player. Oh, he's the worst person to happen on earth because he wanted to get out of town. I hate that narrative and I hate that emotion towards the player, and it's never towards the organization. If I was Giannis, I'm going to do what's best for me and my family. But I don't want to be so mean. I hope the organization has my back and best interest in me moving forward. But this seems like that's not happening, Al. What's your thoughts?
Nah, I mean, it's a two-way street. And it's funny. I sit here and listen to you. You mentioned the word fairness, and it ain't never fair in love and war.
Okay.
And that's the business aspect of it. I mean, you work out an agreement, and you abide by that agreement. And that's what it is to me. But at the same time, if you do have some leverage, everybody's jockeying you for leverage. If you do have leverage and you want to make a shift in your career, I'm fine with that. But, there's a lot of the same people. I'm not going to mention any names, but his name rhymes with bats. They get mad. They get mad when you choose to go to another team to win a championship. Or they get, you know what I mean? So I think it's a way to always go about it. if you are a player and you have that relationship with the organization and say, hey, you know what? I've given it my all. I would like to look in a different situation. Can we make something happen? By all means, let's do it. But if I'm the team, I'm going to make what's going to happen. It has to benefit me because this is my job on the line. I don't want to be Nico Harrison with the same situation with happened in Dallas. So my job is on the line. So I got to make the right choice for the right organization. And I got ownership looking at me as well. So again, if we can make something happen because we got a great working relationship, we can make something happen, but it have to work. It have to benefit both parties.
I'm with you there. And you said that I'm not one. No, I got a slight against people who chase a championship. I don't slight it. Just put the mark next to it because I gotta appreciate homegrown. I gotta appreciate somebody's like Giannis, Dirk Nowitzki. I gotta appreciate those guys that drafted state because we know how hard it is to win one, especially if you stay in one town and not move to get a championship. So I just applaud those different. I'll honor the championship as a chip, but if you went to go do that, I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that as well too, Al.
Facts.